In today's episode, Hendro arrives at an ancient civilization that holds the secrets of the universal mind. What will he discover about true wisdom, and how will it transform his journey? Stay until the end to find out how these revelations can also change your perception of yourself and the universe. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any details of this deep quest for knowledge and evolution. Chapter 2: The Quest for Wisdom. Hendro had overcome his first major challenge. He had confronted his own shadows and learned a fundamental truth. The acceptance of the darkness within oneself is the key to accessing the light that resides in every being. However, he knew that this was only the beginning of his journey. The stars still held ancient secrets, profound mysteries, and forgotten wisdom. Now, he felt that the next step in his journey would lead him to uncover one of these mysteries. As he wandered through the infinite cosmos, Hendro felt a new calling. A gentle yet persistent vibration that seemed to echo in his mind. Unlike the first planet, which had emanated a heavy and dark energy, this new vibration had a different quality. It was more subtle, almost like a whisper. It was an invitation to a place where the secrets of the universal mind were hidden. Follow the ancient wisdom, he heard in his mind. Without hesitation, Hendro steered his lightship toward that call. The journey was long, and the silence of space seemed to intensify the feeling of anticipation within him. He knew he was about to encounter something of great importance, something that would change his perception of the universe and of himself. But, as always, the true learning would not be revealed easily. He would need to be open, receptive, and willing to face the challenges that lay ahead. The planet of Sabadur. After days of traveling, Hendro finally spotted his destination. It was a large, luminous planet, enveloped in a golden aura that seemed to pulse with ancient wisdom. As he approached, he realized that the planet was surrounded by rings of energy dancing around it, as if they were guardians of that sacred place. The name of this planet, which spontaneously arose in his mind, was Sabadur, the guardian of ancestral wisdom. Upon landing his ship, Hendro descended and was greeted by an atmosphere unlike anything he had ever experienced. The air was thick, with a spiritual presence, almost as if the planet itself were alive and conscious. The ground beneath his feet seemed to vibrate softly, and he felt an immediate connection to the energy around him. As he walked, a figure began to materialize before him. It was a tall, majestic being, cloaked in a golden light that shone with a subtle intensity. Its deep, ancient eyes reflected ages of wisdom, and its demeanor radiated absolute tranquility. This being didn't need to speak for Hendro to know who it was, a guardian of universal wisdom. "Welcome, traveler," said the being, its voice seeming to echo across multiple dimensions at once. "You have come to us because you seek what few have the courage to pursue, the secrets of the universal mind." Hendro felt a wave of emotion wash over him. It was as if all the questions he had carried since the beginning of his journey were on the verge of being answered. "I am ready," he said, with a mix of reverence and determination. "Then follow me," replied the guardian, "but know that the answers you seek will not be given easily. The knowledge of the universal mind is reserved for those willing to transcend the limitations of the ego and the rational mind. You will need to undergo trials. Only then will you be able to comprehend what few can." The first test, the labyrinth of the mind. The guardian led Hendro to a large stone portal, intricately carved with ancient symbols that glowed with a soft light. "This is the labyrinth of the mind," the guardian explained. "Here you will confront your own thoughts, your beliefs, and what you think you know about the universe. But beware, for the labyrinth can be deceptive. Only those who can see beyond the limited mind can find the way out." Hendro took a deep breath and entered the labyrinth. At first, the path seemed simple, with wide, well-lit corridors. But as he progressed, the walls began to transform. They narrowed and distorted, creating passages that seemed to lead him in circles. He soon realized that the labyrinth was not only physical, but also mental. Each turn, each diversion, was a reflection of his own thoughts and perceptions. At one point, Hendro found himself before several doors, all appearing identical. He knew that choosing the wrong door would lead him back to the beginning, but there were no clear clues about which was the right one. Trust your intuition. A voice whispered in his mind. The rational mind cannot guide you here. Hendro closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He knew that wisdom did not lie in physical details, but in his inner connection. After a moment of silence, he opened his eyes and, without hesitation, chose one of the doors. As he passed through it, he felt an immediate sense of relief. The corridor ahead was clear and straightforward. He was on the right path. The second test. The mirror of truth. After traversing the labyrinth, Hendro arrived at a large circular room, in the center of which stood a mirror. But this was no ordinary mirror. As Hendro approached, he did not see his reflection, but scenes from his life. Moments of pain, joy, doubt, and learning flashed before his eyes. The mirror showed him not only who he was, but who he could become. The mirror reflects not only the present, but also all the possibilities of the future, said the guardian, who had reappeared beside him. Here, you must confront your choices and accept that to move forward, you must let go of the control you believe you have over your life. Hendro saw, in the mirror, different versions of himself. Some were reflections of his greatest fears: failure, loneliness, the loss of his purpose. Others were reflections of his dreams, the discovery of truth, the connection with universal wisdom. He knew he needed to make a choice, to continue controlling his journey, trying to force answers, or to surrender to the flow of the universe, accepting that some answers would only come at the right moment. With a deep sigh, Hendro approached the mirror and touched its surface. I accept, he said. I accept that I don't have all the answers right now, and I accept that the universe will bring what I need in due time. The mirror shone brightly, then shattered into particles of light that floated through the air, leaving the room completely empty. Hendro had passed the second test. He had learned that the quest for wisdom is not about accumulating answers, but about being open to the flow of life and continuous learning. The third test, the portal of consciousness. The final test awaiting Hendro was the most challenging. The guardian led him to a room with a large portal of light, shining with an almost unbearable intensity. This is the portal of consciousness, the guardian explained. By crossing it, you will gain access to the universal mind, but only if you are truly ready. What you will see can transform your vision of everything you know. Many give up here, afraid of what they might discover. Hendro looked at the portal with a mix of reverence and curiosity. I am ready, he said with conviction. The guardian nodded, and Hendro stepped forward, crossing the portal and entering a new dimension of consciousness. As he passed through the portal of consciousness, Hendro felt his body enveloped by an indescribable energy. It was as if the very fabric of the universe was welcoming him, yet at the same time he felt himself dissolving, becoming part of something much larger. His mind expanded beyond anything he had ever experienced. The separation between him and the universe vanished. There was no longer I or they, only unity. Suddenly, he found himself floating in a vast ocean of light and knowledge. But the most surprising aspect was not what he saw, but what he felt. Hendro now understood what it meant to be connected to the universal mind. All thoughts, all lives, all moments existed simultaneously in that space of infinite consciousness. He was no longer limited by time or space. This is the true challenge, a voice softly echoed in his mind. It was the guardian, though Hendro could not see him. Before you lies the wisdom of all times, the essence of creation. But wisdom without purpose is merely a burden. True wisdom is knowing when and how to use what you have learned. Hendro allowed himself to dive deeper into this ocean. He saw ancient civilizations rise and fall, observed the cycles of birth and death unfolding in ways he had never understood before. He felt the pain and joy of millions of beings throughout the cosmos and realized that, at their essence, everything was part of the same energy, a cosmic dance of evolution. But what is the purpose? Hendro asked himself, trying to find meaning in all that he was experiencing. If everything is connected, if everything is part of the same flow, why is there so much suffering? Why does the quest for wisdom seem so difficult? The answer came as a gentle whisper, but it was laden with depth. The purpose is simple. Wisdom is not in the final answer, but in the journey of each being discovering their own truth. Each soul is a fragment of the whole, exploring its own existence. Suffering and joy, light and darkness are parts of this experience. The universe does not hide its secrets to punish you, but to teach you to grow. These words echoed deeply within Hendro. He finally understood that the quest for wisdom was not about accumulating knowledge, but about experiencing the universe in all its complexity. The universal mind was accessible to all, but each being needed to learn to use it responsibly and compassionately. Hendro realized that his role was not just to discover these truths, but also to carry them forward so that others could awaken. The final decision. As he emerged from that elevated state of consciousness, Hendro found himself back before the Guardian, now with a new clarity. He had crossed the portal, faced his greatest fears, and discovered the answers he had long sought. But instead of definitive answers, he had received something even more valuable. A deeper understanding of the spiritual journey and the interconnection of all things. The Guardian looked at Hendro with a satisfied gaze. You have passed the tests, Hendro, but true wisdom does not lie in what you have learned here. The real challenge will be what you do with this knowledge. Are you ready to return to the universe, carrying with you the wisdom that now resides in your heart? Hendro nodded, feeling a newfound inner peace. Yes, he replied. Now I know that my mission is to help others find their own wisdom, to connect with the universal truth that resides within us all. The Guardian smiled and with a simple gesture, opened a new portal before Hendro. Then go, stellar traveler. The universe awaits you. And remember, the quest for wisdom never ends. With each new encounter, you will discover a new truth. The secret is not in the answers, but in how you live the journey. A new beginning. As Hendro crossed the portal, he emerged at a new point in the cosmos, feeling renewed. He now understood that his journey was not only personal, but also a mission to awaken others. He knew that new challenges awaited him, but he was now more prepared than ever. He looked out at the vast universe before him, and with a serene smile, said to himself, I am ready. And so, Hendro set off for his next destination, carrying not only the knowledge of the universal mind, but also the profound understanding that true wisdom is that which we share and live out in our journey. At the end of this story, we are invited to reflect on our own quest for wisdom. How many times do we seek answers outside of ourselves, when in fact, they lie within, waiting for us to be ready to see them? Hendro teaches us that the spiritual journey is not a straight line, but a path of discoveries, filled with challenges, but also profound rewards. And you? Are you ready to embark on your own search for wisdom? What parts of your journey still need more attention and reflection? Leave your experiences in the comments and share how you have faced challenges on your own spiritual path. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to continue following Hendro's journey as we explore the depths of the universe and the soul together. See you in the next chapter, where new revelations and challenges await. How far are you willing to go in your own search for truth?